Let's do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Man, y'all saw that Jeezy Gucci, huh?
Nigga, did we?
Man,
Well, I thought we was finna see a fight for
But
sure,
I was
but
excited.
Gucci came in deep with the disrespect early.
the intense
We would have never got the
level
song.
was high.
We would have never got the song number one. Jeezy Gucci started out. Now it's the motherfucking Gucci show. I was like, okay.
Hey, when it's talking to Stacey Abrams, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be disrespectful all night. That nigga set the tone early. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be some bullshit. I can smell it.
Early and often, he came to be a bully.
Hey, I swear, I don't give a damn because I know he know. Like, nah, man, Jeezy got more songs than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I can come with the antics and the bullshit and like the disrespect, that'll turn this up some more. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. I mean,
you were gonna
you ain't gonna be too friendly.
You ever put a bounty on my head, we can't sit in the same room, fam.
I don't care. Always disrespect.
I can't take the bag no more, bro. You put a bounty on my head. It is what it is, dog.
It's always.
But
you'd have had to zoom me in on that one. You'd have had to put me in on Zoom.
$1 million, dog. Nigga try to kill you, but then 15 years, like, man, that was 15 years.
Hey, he wasn't playing, right? But get them years right.
You know what I'm saying? But for $1 million, like, try to entertain it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
He for sure lost, though. He for sure lost.
Oh, by a fucking mile.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's good stuff, though. So happy that was happening. Everybody was able to see that.
Moment.
And we are back with another episode of the Black Dad Cast. We took a week off, to rejuvenate, and we are back at it. Big, raw, uncut,
all that.
All that. The Blue Magic.
Nice to see y'all boys taking the No Shade November serious with me, man. I mean, your boy out here, Scruff McDuff out here, man.
Bro, we all out here looking homeless. That should tell y'all how our week was.
The hair sticking through my hat, bro. Man, goodness gracious.
Our circumstance, boy, face is rough. You know what I'm saying? He got hair all on his neck.
Bro, I had to clip it the other day because I bit something. I was eating something and I bit all mustache. I was like, oh, that's too long. I got to clip that back.
Yeah. Mine be right here on the side. You know what I'm saying? So once you get to that point, like, all right, I got to pull them edges out, man.
Hey, so real quick, man. I know, our generation, we was raised on little cartoons and stuff. So like the Rugrats, we all watched the Rugrats growing up, right?
Yes, sir. Tommy Pickles is the fucking legend.
Of course, he's to go. So if your kid was one of the Rugrats, what character would they most closely resemble?
Damn, we in sync. Because I swear I was just thinking about that shit the other day.
Well, I don't know.
Man. If I'm honest, dog, I'm gonna just say strictly off the blanket, I'm gonna say my son is Chucky Finster, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because Roman has a little Spider-Man blanket, and he drags that son bitch wherever he goes, and I have to have this blanket. If you take this blanket, I'm going to holler. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just off the blanket alone, Chucky Finster.
Gotcha.
Man, I really don't know who Baylor would be, man. This boy just, he all over the place right now, dog.
Yeah, if you really think about it, like, I think our kid would be an embodiment of each one, like each characteristic of the kid. You know, Phil Lil was on the daredevil shit at all times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's crazy?
Tommy
is Caleb is mostly Phil and Lil with a little bit of Chucky, because like he gets scared about some stuff, but mostly jumping off couches and stuff. Like, bro, sit down.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I guess it's a little boy thing, you know what I'm saying? Because now Roman is like, we got like these chairs to sit at our table, and he's standing up on the chair. I'm like, bro, that fall is gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, please.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think my son's starting to become a prankster now, man. He's starting to understand the game. So the other day, he kind of yelled from the room like, Dad, what is this? I'm like, what's that on your hand? You know, I'm like thinking something on his hand. So I grab it off his hand real quick, like, probably hurting him or something. I said, man, what is this? He said, it's a booger. Boy, I knew it was a booger, bro. Had to grab it off his hand, bro.
He got you. He back game now.
Hey, I couldn't do that but look at him and be like, okay, it's on now, buddy. You know what's wrong with me.
Look, you jumped in, you get jumped out.
Man, bro.
Oh,
okay.
man.
This is what kind of day it's be today.
John
okay.
always got the story. He always got the story, dog. Baby's gonna be a comedian.
He worked me. I'm like, man, hold on, I gotta stay on my feet every day with that cat, man.
So he just started that. So he hasn't been doing that the whole pandemic. So he learned that at home.
Nah, yeah, he learned that. He probably learned that from me a time or two after I get his mama. So I done got her a couple of times.
Yeah. With the booger or something different?
Well, you know, whatever comes to mind. Now my wife got him too. So she put like some chocolate on a piece of toilet tissue, and she rubbed it on him real quick. And he looked at it. He was like, "Mom." Bro, he was hot, dog. He went to washing his hands. He was pissed.
That's dirty, dog. It's all fan love war, son.
Yeah,
Old as hell.
He's a part of the game, man. So yeah, little Rugrats thing, man. I wanted to see where we were with where we think our kids were. We probably ask that again next year, and they probably be totally different.
Sure.
But yeah, my son too much of a loner to be Tommy Pickles at this point. If anybody, Cam gonna end up being there because that boy pay attention to every single detail.
I'm in charge of it. I'm in front of it. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, so speaking of, you said your son was learning pranks during the pandemic. So what else has parenting been like during the pandemic for y'all?
Man, parenting during the pandemic has been different, to say the least. It's almost like you forced to have to find different ways to, you know what I'm saying, entertain your kid, because you can't necessarily do everything that you used to do. And it's crazy because you can, but you can't. In a sense, like, I never want my son to be kind of like the new age kids, so to speak. You know, they're the ones that's on the game system all the time, stuck on their phone, things like that. Like, I want them to kind of have a piece of my childhood selfishly. We are outside kids, bro. When the sun came up, we brushed our teeth and we out the house. Like, I can't even remember going back home and eating a lunch like when I was a kid. Like, I would be outside all day drinking from the water hose on side of somebody's house.
Sitting on the generator.
Like that was just our life. Like, we went over each other's house, we hooped, we played football, we went to the pool, we did everything outside, like, until the street lights came on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know I can't get my son's 4. I can't get him to be outside all day, but, you know, just finding different things to do. Like, when the first time, you know, they did the lockdown, I did like a whole little thing in the driveway, with like a hopscotch thing. Like, I put like letters on there. Like, I chalked it all out on the driveway, like a whole little obstacle course style thing. He loved it. And that was good for about 3 days. And then it was like, all right, what's next, Daddy? It's like, so it just kind of makes you, like, during the pandemic, because you guys are locked down and, you know, you're just trying to be safe as possible. It's just trying to, you know, it makes you get more and more creative with certain things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Man, so, I mean, I think parenting during the pandemic has been a little weird for me because, you know, halfway through the pandemic, or not even halfway, more than halfway through the pandemic, you know, we added another piece to the puzzle, right? So it's we was starting to find a groove. Caleb went to go be with his grandparents for a while because Whitley was still working, frontline worker, working in the hospital as a respiratory therapist. So we were trying to keep him safe. We didn't know what this thing was, and so her mom's retired, so he went to sit with her for a little bit, and then when he came back, we started to get our groove. And then once we got our groove, we had to switch it up when Cammy got here. So now it's just been like, okay, relearning, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. and trying to make sure that he stays up to date with learning. So like my son, if you let him, he will tablet, TV, dino trucks you to death. Like wake up in the morning, want Apple Jacks. Next, can I watch dino trucks? No. Like even though some of these programs have educational aspects to them, it's just too much screen time. So
Yeah.
you find a way to make him stay engaged. Doing his letters, doing his homework, coloring, normal stuff a 3-year-old is supposed to be doing. And but these kids are just so advanced. Like I saw him on his tablet playing this little train game, and the goal is to connect the train to the train station, and you got to turn these little pieces to connect the tracks. And he was just knocking them out the park. And I'm over here. I first looked at it. I was like, okay, so turn this one, this way. Like I'm over here stuttering at it. And then
working your ass.
Boy, made me feel like, okay, give me the tablet. It's like no more no more tablet. But like figuring out those little things, and there's one where he puts like the shapes and colors together, and I'm frankly during the pandemic, you know what I got tired of the most? A 3-year-old outsmarting me. That's what I got tired of the most.
You wanna know why? You wanna know why kids outsmart us? Because we're 30 plus years old and we overanalyze everything. Kids only know what they see in front of them, bro. Like it's crazy, bro. Like we had a little Friendsgiving. I hate to go off topic, but I'm gonna come back. We had a little Friendsgiving. And we did like a couples theme or whatever. So we had couples over and we had a good time. And I played like the newlywed game. So one of the questions I asked was, if you were stranded at 3 a.m. in the morning, other than your spouse, who would you call? So one of the girls, she answers it, but she answers it because she's thinking, what if I got a flat tire? What if I got this? Like she wasn't answering the question like how it was worded. And it just goes to show like how us as adults think versus how kids think. Like they keep it very, very simple, and we overanalyze everything. We play out multiple scenarios. So yes, in that respect, kids are a lot smarter than us because they are kind of almost oblivious to other things that go on.
They say ignorance is bliss, right?
That's true.
Oh, dog. Straight up.
But
see door, open door. Open door, close.
Period. Like no other way around it. That's just what it is. Yeah. Basically. But yeah, Bowden, you said, you guys added a +1. Once again, man, congrats on your second son, man. Super excited to be an uncle again. Haven't had a chance to see him yet, but once this thing gets a little bit better, man, we definitely gonna get out there and get a chance to be with him. One of the things I did want to ask you was during the pandemic, I'm sure there were some similarities and some differences when it comes to the pregnancy side, of it. I have heard some things out there where it's like, the spouse or the male wasn't able to go into the room when they do checking on the baby and things like that. Those are some experiences that, you remember, and some people are being taken away or not being able to have that experience. So I just wanted to hear, what were some similarities and some differences during the pregnancy process during this pandemic?
Man, to quote Jeezy, I'll tell you what. Listen, if they would have tried to keep me at that hospital, they would have had to square me up. Man. Period, point blank. It wasn't happening, man. Like, there was a difference. I wasn't able to go to the doctor's appointments with her, so I understood that. She'll just FaceTime me. Okay, get it. Most of those were routine checkups. Luckily, we had a healthy pregnancy, and so that was a blessing. I was only able to go like 1 or 2 early before the pandemic really just hit. But I was able to go into the hospital, but they limited to just the parents. So, when Kayla was born, her mom and grandmother came down. They were in the room. This time it was just me and her, which I like because, granted, we love our parents and grandparents, but, that's an intimate couple moment that I just enjoyed the experience a lot better this time having that. And it was funny. I almost had to deliver Camden. And so
tell us more.
we was in the hospital. So here's the story of just sidetracking just a little bit. So I wake up that morning and Whitley's walking around. She was like, "Oh yeah, my contractions are 5 minutes apart." And I'm like, "Yeah, we need to get her to the hospital." And she's because she was scarred with 31 hours of labor with Caleb. She wasn't seeing it in the same light. I know, yeah, right. 24 of those hours was non-medicated. She was so she's not thinking like a normal pregnancy. She's thinking the anomaly of Caleb. So I'm like, yo, let's go. So we pack up, head to the hospital. We get there around 11 something, get checked into a room around 1:30, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Caleb was, she was in labor with Caleb for a while. We're probably going to be here for at least 8 hours. Let me order some food because I need to be on my P's and Q's and not be hangry later. So I order some pizza. I'm thinking, okay, we just got in the room. I ordered some pizza. I'm going to get the pizza. Her contractions are getting closer and closer. I come up. I'm eating over by the window, take a bite, and then run to her, and we have a contraction. We go through it, do the breathing, and then I run back over, get some food. They started to get closer and closer together, so I'm mid-bite on one. I ran over, we breathed. A little piece got on the forehead. She was like, yeah, it was bad. I was like, oof, breathe, baby. Let me wipe that. So at one contraction, it's about 3:05, right? In the middle of one contraction, she's hammering it out, breathing. In the middle of it, I need drugs. Like, you could have walked in there with acid, crack, anything, and been like, here, take this. And she would have been like, I want all of it. Give me all of it. Like, the demon came out. She was like, I want drugs. So I look outside. I grab the nurse. I say, hey, our nurse is on lunch. I say, hey, she needs some drugs. So the nurse has to check to make sure you're not too far along. Otherwise, they can't give you drugs. So she got in there and she was like, no, you can't get drugs. You're 9.5 centimeters. And so 10 centimeters is when they usually come. Yeah. So she walked out to go and start to organize all the doctors. From the time she walked out of the room, Whitley started the contraction. She starts the contraction. She says, my water broke. I look down. I see wetness. I see hair. I said, I remember from Caleb. I say, oh, I know what that means. He's on the way. Like, I saw him crowning and half his head was out, like forehead. I saw forehead. So I'm like, whoa, yo, nobody's in the room. And I'm like, yo. I'm screaming. I'm trying to keep her calm. And I don't know to tell her, like close your legs or anything like that because to keep him from coming. So I'm just holding her hand, breathing, trying not to pass out, and just watching him just like and
killer cam on the way out.
Bruh. So her contraction is ending, right? And so as it's ending, the doctors, everybody's rushing in at that one moment. The doctor came in, she was like, keep your legs closed real fast. And because if not, he would have just shot it right on out. So for the time, that's what I thought it was going to be. I was like, okay, I don't have my gloves. I'm ready. I thought it was going to be that Martin episode.
Oh, man.
I was going to have to jump in and catch my boy. So they come in and it literally takes them less than a minute to set up, get the stirrups up, get her set. And it was perfect timing because she started that contraction right as they were setting it up. Doctor opened her legs and she did a slow, controlled, perfect birth. And he flew right on out and was angry, looking at everybody like, y'all knew I was getting here. Like,
man,
I was so nervous. Had they not walked in at that moment, it would have been like, what I do now? I caught them. But as far as the pregnancy, the process was really different. She had a much better pregnancy, a much better postpartum. It's good to see because she's more of herself than she was the first time. First time she was overthinking it a lot, which a lot of first time not only mothers but parents do. I can all attest to that. She was just overthinking it a lot, and so I think that this one was a much better pregnancy, birth. And it's been smooth sailing as far as we can compare it to.
Man, that's what's up, man. I know anybody that's going through a pregnancy, that's tough within itself, you know. But doing it during the pandemic, not being able to go to those visits, not being able to, you know, to have that family, that support system there. Of course, it's different experiences, but it's definitely pretty cool to have that, like that moment with you and your wife, to be like able to share that just you two. That is something that we all kind of like yearn for. Not saying that we're trying to, you know, take anyone else out of the picture, but you know, there are those moments where you're like, man, like only us can talk about that experience, and it's, you know, that's a pretty cool feeling to have.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't have my son during the pandemic, so of course there were a lot of things that were different. But just thinking about it, man, I do remember going to the doctor's visits and hearing my son's first heartbeat. Man, it's like a shock wave that hits you. It's like, dang, that's
Yeah.
my little man. Like I made that. Like, okay, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, we about to really have one. Like it's a couple more months and here he is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like it is a different experience. What about you, Ryan? Man, what do you remember your experience like during
Man,
pregnancy?
man, that first one was ah that a blur. To be honest, I ain't gonna even lie to you, dog. I just remember when my wife was, as far as emotions, like up and down. You know what I'm saying? And you just riding the wave with that. And we had to do, which is an adventure in itself, because you wouldn't know it looking at Roman, but Roman was born 2 months early.
Okay.
Yeah. My wife ended up having a pre-eclampsia, so that complicated stuff. So, and what preeclampsia is higher blood pressure. Like, you know what I'm saying? She never had any blood pressure issue prior. So, like the last trimester, it just went. The second number was over 100. You know what I'm saying? So, we in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? We had to get a emergency delivery, C-section. Shit, pulled it up top like this. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to be pulled out, and they pulled that boy right up out of there. So that first one was, we still dealing with it because my wife was pregnant again, and we actually lost our son. That's still, and now we in the weeds now. So it's a standard checkup, check the heartbeat and all that stuff, and we thinking it's something standard until it's good, and it's cool. Able to go in, so it's like FaceTime meetings, and then we do. That's how I'm trying to figure everything out. But I don't even remember how I ended up being at this one. It's a standard checkup. They checking his heartbeat. Something's not right. Later on, as we going, one ventricle, he had a heart defect, and we making a decision if he's gonna live or die. And they gave us all the scenarios. Just my boy wouldn't have had the quality of life that my first son had. Talking about everything, and then it just goes very quick, and we end up losing him, man. And that's one of the toughest decisions you have to make. And we weren't fortunate enough to go through the second pregnancy, man. Pandemic 2020 is a little, and it's man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I would never know like that feeling of that man, and
Yes,
I know it's tough.
when I say through it for sure, I say made that bond between me and my wife stronger than ever. You know what I'm saying? Uh, deal with some shit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like like hands down, top two, not two, the strongest woman I know. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
made me see. Well, obviously, like the first when she gave birth, first your wife in a different light. You know what I'm saying? But this second go round and everything that she endured, man, that bond is that bond is crazy tight. You know what I'm saying? And I, it's something I'm still dealing with, obviously. And you work through it day by days. You had your good days, you had your bad days. And I broke down last Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's something we still dealing with. But it's just a matter of whenever you dealing with that, you communicating it. You know what I'm saying? So if my wife is in in a shitty mood, communicate it, and I'm there for her, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And it's a you gotta find the blessings and the silver lining moments in every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And shit, that's what I say. You know what I'm saying? That bond grew, and I seen my wife in a different light. You know, so we were supposed to have a kid in the pandemic, and then man, God said otherwise, bro. So that's how, you know what I'm saying. For sure.
Man, hearing that, man, I know that's tough. I can remember, you sharing that with me, and I'm thinking, this dude is going through, not only you, but you and T are going through the unimaginable. Like, I can
Yeah.
only imagine the thoughts that are going through your head, the emotions that you're feeling, and
Yeah.
in that moment, man, I just knew that um, you being able to come on and share this with us and the people that's listening and watching, like just know that we appreciate it, because that story is as powerful as it get, and there's so many of us um, who have gone through it, who are going through it, and people that are going to go
Yeah.
through it. Um, and y'all are a beacon for them. So we appreciate you sharing that, man.
For
So
sure.
what are some of the things that you all have done together to kind of fight through this process? Like, what are some practices that you all have done? Some of the things that's worked, some of the things to avoid, you know, for the people that have gone through it,
Uh,
going through it, or are going to go through it.
the main thing for is communication. Just being forthright. Uh, Tiana, it might slip. I'm like, man, everything all right? And I kind of look at it and know, like, all right, everything's not. You know what I'm saying? Saying, this is I'm not good right now. Need a moment, give me a hug. Let's talk. Uh, just trying to be as you can. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. So when you lose somebody, there's something that has to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've been doing. Our bond is crazy tight, and we just day by day with it. We look at it now, and obviously he keeps our spirits lifted, and that's just how we maintain day by day, bro. Day by day, and communicate. That's to that. You know what I'm saying? And being sympathetic when she's dealing, and then vice versa when I'm dealing, her being sympathetic as well. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I think um I think what's great about why we chose to do this podcast period is for people to hear, what us men think about and what we go through, especially as fathers and as husbands. And sometimes, the the woman may not fully think that we are feeling how they're feeling, or vice versa, and I think it's healthy for us, like you said, to communicate our feelings, with each other, and let each
Yeah,
other
yeah,
know how we feel. And main thing is know that, like, we got each other's back, because during times like this, like, we all know the wife could be feeling like, less of a woman because she wasn't able to proceed with the baby, or a loss of a human that grew inside of her was just taken away from her. So all these things that we talk about, or that we take for granted, you know, sometimes like we miss it. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing for us is really just to say it. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
hardest thing when you have a feeling and you don't know how it's gonna go is like saying it. That's like the one thing you like, man, I don't know if I should say it,
Right.
good or bad. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of feel like, I mean, let me leave that alone. Let me not really touch on that subject and things like that. And,
Mhm.
just to kind of like tell you guys, you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife, we've been having discussions about wanting to have a second child. And I had to open up to her about my fears of, having a second child. Now, granted, I'm not the one carrying the kid, but I was the one that was watching my wife experience these seizures.
Mhm.
Like you talked about how your
Mhm.
wife, with the high blood pressure thing, it was something that never happened to her until, she got pregnant. Same thing with my wife. She
Mhm.
never had a seizure a day in her life. And the first one that happened, we was like, all right, we went to the hospital. They say she good. We good. We go back to the crib. It ain't no big thing. Just a once in a lifetime thing. No problem. Well,
Mhm.
4 years later, they continued to happen. And a
Mhm.
lot of times people don't really see like or check on the person that is attending to the one that's going through. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
always are so concerned about the person that is happening to, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But there are some people out
Right.
here that are taking care of loved ones that have experienced something and they're not well either. You know what I'm saying? So like now that I know, you know what I'm saying, Ryan, like what you went through, I'm not finna sit here and say I'm gonna blow you up. You good, you good, you good, but you will get a message from me here and there and let you know like I'm thinking about you,
Right.
bro, because I
Right.
think that's important. You know what I'm saying? I think you just saying, hey, bro, thinking about you, love you, man, have a good day. I think that really uplifts people, spirits, even the
For
ones that
sure.
physically
Oh.
didn't go through it,
Mhm.
but we have a mental thing in our head and it plays, in our minds over and over. Like I'm thinking now, like, man, if my wife gets pregnant again, like, will she have another seizure? That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not even really thinking about the
Right.
experience
That's
of like having another child. Like, and that's the part that I'm trying to block out as we proceed, going to, talking to her
right.
OBGYN and things like that. Like, I'm really just trying my best to like be strong for her, but I also have to let her know that I'm scared too. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I think as
Right.
black men, like
Yeah.
we really, really struggle with saying, "Hey, I'm not good." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's
Right. Right.
super helpful that we can tell each other that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
keeping each other encouraged. And that go for any
Yeah.
of you, men out there, man. Don't matter the race, man. Any young man is going through something, man. Like mentally, I feel like it's good to talk to somebody, whether it be your spouse, your mate, your
For
mama,
sure.
your kid, your dog, whoever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the like
Yeah.
just saying it's a burden
Yeah,
that's released. Like I'm not good.
yeah,
It's one of those things to where
Hey,
like you feel
like
like
no
you're
other
making
dog.
progress in the right direction. Yeah. So
Mhm.
and I
Straight
think
up.
that because we were raised to be like, all right, be tough, be a provider,
uh,
and now we're in that position of where we're husband and fathers and providers. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, when do I does saying this show a chink in my armor?
Take this shit off.
Or yeah, because
Yeah.
we go through day by day and be like,
Yeah.
is my armor even armor? Like,
right, right.
so you not even knowing if your armor is
Straight
really
up.
armor, and then having to say, okay, is there a chink in my armor? If it is armor, like, what am I doing? It's so many confusing things,
Yeah.
so many intricacies, and so I think that just saying that is that vulnerability piece is just it's important. As we talked about in our first episode
Yeah.
with our dads, had later in life getting that piece of vulnerability and being able to share with us. I think that us learning it earlier in life and being able to not only understand it but display it is going to put us um, in a better stage to teach our sons.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Go
Nah,
ahead.
go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just saying. Uh, I you know based on it. I think men in general, and I just feel like vulnerability is a weakness, but it's power in that, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's power
Mm-hmm.
to lay that burden down. That's the reason. Like, I, I go to therapy, bro. I got a therapist. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Shout. That's if I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Or I set up my session, dog. I lay my burden down, fool. Like it's
Yeah, real
necessary.
talk.
There's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with that, man. To say, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
not okay." Going to your spouse or going to your partners and saying, "Man, I'm not okay." You know what I'm saying? People will spiral off into a dark ass place because they not saying how they feel and they just internalize and stuff. And then it'll be something like my homegirl say, it'll be something like the ketchup. The ketchup is hot or the ketchup is cold. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mm-hmm.
you lose it and it spaz out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Lay
Yeah.
your
yeah.
burden down if you got to. Like, John, I really appreciate what you said and I received that, bro. And I was just talking, and what I mean by I received that as far as like reaching out and saying, "Hey, bro, I'm thinking about you." I was talking about that with my wife earlier today. It's our duty, bro, to
Mm-hmm.
give somebody a smile, a kind gesture, or a hug, because you don't know what that person is dealing with, and
Hmm.
that one smile, that one pleasant interaction with you, literally stop somebody from ending their lives.
Yeah.
Solid is the case. I have, it's been built up, been going through, and you have one last shitty encounter with somebody, and it's like, all right, I'm about to do something, crazy. So it's our duty, bro,
The
to
straw that
reach
broke the
out,
camel's
to be
back.
pleasant, try to be as pleasant as you.
Yeah.
That is, dog, the proverbial straw. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's on us to when you can to reach out. If you think about somebody, it they popped up in your head for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to whoever that is, and hey man, you all right? You was on my mind. I thought about you. Hope everything all right. And I can't tell you how many times whoever I've reached out to, because I'm the strong friend. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And people be like, damn, you don't realize this conversation we had today. You don't realize what they did for me. And to me, dog, that you know, aside from taking care of my family and seeing my family happy and striving, being able to say that I helped somebody go on a little bit further, bro, that moves me, dog. That's power. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's power in that, man. For real. For real, man.
And you brought up a
We
good
gotta make
point.
sure we check straight up.
You brought up a good point, especially like being looked at in your circle as a strong friend, and
Yeah.
it's a and they say most people they don't really worry about the strong friend. They be like, oh yeah, they got it. Like you're looking at yourself like, man, I don't got it. They got it. They're strong. I'm looking at them for inspiration, and then the strong friend is
Mhm.
over there like, yo, I need some inspiration. Like,
I'm
and
looking at you.
exactly. And so I think, it's one of those things where in our community, we really need to understand that everybody has a strength, and in any of my circle of friends, there's people that I go to for certain things because I know that that's one of their strengths. Instead of just giving a label to every single one of them and saying that's a strong friend, that's my strong friend. This person has these strengths, I go to them for that. This person has these strengths, I go to them for that. And um and I also know what their weaknesses are because that's the thing that I'm going to check up on them about
Right.
or find a resource for them about. You know what I mean? And so having had taking decomposing what we've learned, um, and kind of building it back up in a different light, I think is going to be crucial and vital, especially to maintain our mental health as we move forward.
Yeah, it's one of those things right now, especially in the pandemic, like turning to the bottle versus turning to a friend, man. Like, and it can get lonely with that bottle, man. That bottle ain't gonna do
Right.
nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to find
Mm-hmm.
somebody, or something. Pick up a new hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like the other day, I caught myself like literally running down. like the street. Like I normally run through my apartment complex or whatever, but like I literally got on the street we live on and ran down to the next light and down a block, just to clear my head. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even think really I could run that far consistently that long. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, I ain't worked out in a minute. I'm
Turning the
thinking I was
forward.
gonna be tired, but I'm like still going.
They would have found me at the end of the street
look,
laying down.
I ran there and back, and I'm just like, man, I needed that. I had all this energy to get rid of, bro. So you gotta find something, man. And like I know what you mean by being the quote unquote strong person or the one that oh, he got it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do need
Hey,
that.
man, check on me.
Yeah, like whoever listens,
check on
family
me
or friends out there, check on me from time to time, okay? I might not be all right. So
listen. And and it's so crazy is because like for instance, we were having a conversation earlier this week. In the outset of that conversation, just being able to vent and talk to each other in that fashion is just like one of those things to where it's like, oh, damn, that was therapeutic. I needed to get that off my chest. And us having a common understanding and a common not just story, but like different perspectives to kind of add fuel to that fire of thought to where we can kind of go through those thoughts and figure out what it is that we need to do. It's just therapeutic, man. Like even if you out there and you don't have money or time to go see a therapist, if you have a circle, finding ways to communicate with them about whatever it is that's going on in your life, whatever it is that's bothering you, can be therapeutic in itself. Because I know some people that's not on their therapy wave. It's okay, that's fine, but just find something that works for you because you're holding it all in. That's not the option. That's not what's going to be able to. That's not what's going to get you through this. You got to find a community. It takes a village. There was always that phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. Nah, it takes a village to raise a man too, because look, we still learning and growing as we go.
For real.
And so that's important.
Yeah, man. I know we talking about parenting during the pandemic, and that took us over. Like, but I'm excited about it, man. I think that really opened up some thoughts for us on maybe our next episode, man. So we definitely want to continue to dive into that, man. But kind of getting back to the parenting during the pandemic, another thing that I've seen people, I look at Facebook and Instagram and social media platforms, and I see, a lot of different things, school, for example, we got kids are, basically homeschooling themselves, given a laptop and Zoom codes to get in, and some daycares are not taking new kids, so tell me about you guys' experience with your kids as far as school or daycare, if they're in either one, and how has that been?
It's scary as hell. Let's start there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My wife had a job where she was working from home, and so it allowed her to be able to watch Roman. You know what I'm saying? When I think like in March or April, when everything when the world shut down, Roman was good. But then she transitioned to another job, and so now it's like just like how I am. She had to go in every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She works at the clinic, so it's like, and then might be encountering somebody that's coming in with those symptoms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having to take him to daycare it's been scary, dog. And high as hell too.
Let me ask you this. So you put him in daycare. The first time you put him in daycare was during the pandemic. How was that?
He was in before.
Okay.
What you mean?
Like
what you mean?
He was in it before, and then your wife was keeping him.
And then it shut down. Yeah, and then when she had to go, start another job, then we got to put him back in daycare.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And so the fear was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's still there because you know how kids are, dog. It's like a breeding ground for germs and colds and flus and kids are disgusting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this is, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Roman come home with the sniffles. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
bro. I had to hit that boy with a mean stiff arm. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, Caleb be
it's one of
medicated so
them.
much.
Hey, I swear, bro.
Yeah.
We cycling through the motion and the Tylenol and keep my boy up and up. You know what I'm
Man.
saying?
Yeah, and then he has allergies too, so it don't make it no better. We don't know if it's allergies or if he got another cold. Boy, he been in and out of daycare like crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you got a
Right.
simple little cough, like we got our daycare. The owner is a black grandmama, like quintessential to the core. Tyler Perry couldn't draw this black grandmama up any better. Black grandmama. She fuss at us when we pull up. Why that boy ain't got no coat on? Like, and that's one of the things that we love about it is that she cares about the kids.
Yeah.
And it's really important for us. That's why we was like, we gonna stick around in this area until Camden get ready to go to school because we're not gonna go through that whole rigmarole of trying to find a different daycare. Now, we found one, and she good, and she comes, she check up on us. She's done house calls, like she black grandmama. Pandemic first started, she was like, if y'all want to get out the house, y'all can come and go in my backyard in the pool. We'll stay in the house. And I was like, let me go get a dip. So it's one of those things. Like, yeah. So it's she's serious about it. So one little sign of call. All right, Caleb got to sit at home. Caleb got to do something. But we got the nurse line on speed dial. They know our number.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Bolden. All right. Here's what's happening this week, right? So it's been one of those things to where we having to pay close attention to their health. Every little single little thing we got to watch out for. And Caleb knows better. So sometimes he'll like, if he don't want to do a nap, he'll be like, my ear hurt. Like, ain't nothing wrong with your ear. One time he was saying his arm was hurting. He couldn't lift his arm. And so, we concerned. I'm like, all right, let me put on some clothes. I'm getting ready to take him to the emergency room. He couldn't lift his arm, right? And so I'm thinking in my head, like, he hasn't done anything with his arm. What is happening? So I say, Caleb, lift your arm. Every time I do this, actor, right? So I went and got some snacks, right? And I said, Caleb, you want a snack before we go? Mm-hmm. I held it up. I said, grab it. He tried to lift the other arm. I put that arm down. I said, now you got to get it. Ain't no wrong with that arm. Like, that arm went in the air so fast. But the same, as fast as that arm went in the air, is how fast we were getting ready to like just take him and get him checked out, looked at. And that's just how it's been the whole pandemic. Just every little sniffle, sneeze, cough is like, what's happening? You all right? Boy, you got that stuff? Right. But it's not in kids a lot. That's not to say that, the kids won't spread it to us, but it's just been a stressful time.
Yeah, man. I think
it's really
great. I don't think people really know how to like assess COVID either. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear COVID and you see it on the news and you're like, oh, it's death. It's over. You got it. Like, that's it. Get away from me.
Nice to know you.
Like, it's worse than AIDS right now. You got COVID. Get away from me, bro. Like, see you. Yeah. Like, I don't want to see you until never. Like, this boy got the COVID, man. We can't fool with him anymore. Like, that's the way, like, it feels for real, bro.
Deleted that boy out your phone book.
Yeah, you like, don't FaceTime me. I might get it through FaceTime, man. Leave me alone, bro. So, but man, my son, he's never been to daycare or school. My wife's, been having him the whole time. Yeah, bro. So it was one of those things that we talked about before this upcoming school year came. No, we were gonna put him in like pre-K because he's 4. We were gonna do like the half school thing, and then when the pandemic hit, we continued to talk about it, and then they were talking about, well, if he does go, it'll be on a computer at home. And I'm just like, well, he's not really getting the experience of being in school, and I don't want his first experience to be a computer screen. Like I kind of felt like it would be a little weird for him to see and think that school is this, you know what I'm saying, versus actually going into a classroom with a teacher, with structure, with friends that he'll meet in a classroom, you know what I'm saying, and like recess and lunch and stuff like that you experience in school. So we chose not to put them in there. And my wife's just been doing a great job continuing to teach them, his ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, the color shapes and all that type of stuff. But I've seen a lot of different people, man, that have had to change their work schedule or apply for different positions because it doesn't fit for what their child has to go through right now when it comes to school. So it's just been like super weird for us. Like we talked about the daycare thing, but it's like, man, like we don't know like the people that he'll be there with and like what are their parents like, who they hanging around, like you just start running.
They
Like,
responsible
are they
for
taking it as serious as we taking
right.
it? You know what I'm saying? As they parents masked up, how they going out? Like my son knows now. Like, Daddy, we gotta put our masks on so we don't get sick. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere we go, he
Right.
before we even leave the house, he like I'm like looking keys, phone, wallet. He like, where's my mask, Daddy? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? Because he know, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, I'm just thinking like, man, my childhood never existed. Like never like had a mask. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like, dang, like our kids are not really experiencing the full childhood experience, but we making the best out of it as we can, man. And I'm just happy that, someone like myself, I had COVID, and I recovered from COVID, man. And I was, blessed to not have given that to my wife or to my son or any of my family members, man. And it was definitely different. You know what I'm saying? Like you was the COVID guy, quote unquote, to your friends and family at one point in time, and they kind of looked at you like, "Oh, he had the COVID."
They playing in your funeral.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right, guys, I'm good now. Okay, I made it. All right, it's no big deal now. But yeah, I mean, I was already, I was already cautious, but at the same time, now it just makes me be like, oh man, like, oh no, I'm like, nah, I can't go there, guys. I'm okay.
John called me
That's
so
the scary
sad.
part about the shit is being careful and you end up getting it. That's the scary part of this, bro. And like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do day in and day out. And unbeknownst to me, I get this shit from, touching something or doing this or doing that or being in the area where it's at. Like, this shit's scary, bro. Like, and I see people out here all outside and I'm looking at you, I'm side-eyeing you. It's me. I am just take your ass home. You know what I'm saying?
Real, bro.
That shit is scary.
For real, like I go in a grocery store and I'm just grabbing like milk and eggs and I'm seeing people just like casually shopping. I'm like, man, go home, bro. Like I'm driving past certain places and I'm like, what's going on? Why are so many people like gathered around out here? Like, man, like I'm hoping y'all are being careful with what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. Man. I know people are tired.
Come to Atlanta, then niggas is outside in Atlanta.
Boy, I know, man. I mean, they out here, bro. They out here. We went to go look at a Christmas tree at home, and it was like, bro, it was so many people in there. We literally was there for like 2 minutes. Me and my wife looked at each other and was like, "You ready to go?" I was like, "Yes." We're gonna come back like on a Tuesday or Wednesday when everybody at work, bro.
Straight up, dog. Like it's like I feel like once or twice, or maybe even 3 times a week, bro. I look up and I'll be out in public and see masks or masks under the nose. I'm like, we are in the fucking Twilight Zone, dog. Like,
man.
We didn't grow up with none of this. You know what I'm saying? We had like the swine flu or Ebola or
West
we
Nile.
didn't have none of this. West Nile.
SARS.
You know what I'm saying? But to have something like this that really is impacting our daily lives, bro, and you having to like maneuver around it. Like I've missed like money. I can't go to work because if Roman has a cold, he has to be gone for this many hours. You know what I'm saying? We got to sit at the house now. Like I've never had my life disrupted like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just trying to maneuver that shit every day. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's one of them things, man. You just trying to really like, almost survive the day. And it's sad to say it in that sense, but you truly are, man, because you just don't know where it's at. It's an invisible boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't fight it. You can't beat it to the punch. You don't even have medicine or remedies to like cure it. You know what I'm saying? You just hoping like, all right, I got it. What am I gonna do now? Just sit in the room by myself, look at these four walls, like do what I gotta do until it, passes, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
side
crazy.
note, they said they got a vaccine that's 95% effective. Y'all taking it?
No.
Yes. I'm taking it.
I'm not going to be like first in line to take that. Like,
no, let's not get fucked up about it. I'm not going to be first in line to take it.
Yeah, I'm not taking it immediatally. I may take it after that first batch go through and we see them side effects.
I got to do some more research about it, bro.
I feel like if they did that, like they saying it's 95% effective, I feel like maybe they kind of cycled through already to, then report this is what we have. But I am taking it.
Even in that short amount of time, they say it's 95% effective. Like at what, right? So at preventing COVID, right? So it's 95% effective at preventing you from getting COVID. Now, the side effects, short term and long term, they haven't been able to fully analyze that because there hasn't been enough time, right? So, especially in different blood types and different phenotypes, you may grow 11th finger or something in this month. Like we don't know. I'm being dramatic with it, but at the same time,
yeah, I can do a couple things with 11 fingers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come here,
which one you want?
Watch out there now, with your pinky. But it's,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right in the middle of your palm. When you shake people's hand, that shit weird. But just to, I'm being a little dramatic, but at the same time, it's the side effects is always what worries me about medicines, even medicines that's on the market now. Like even medicines that I give to my son, I always pay attention. Like, what are these known side effects? Because sometimes the side effects be worse than what you trying to take it for.
That's why they speed through it at the end of the commercial.
Yeah, they said, what is diarrhea death? What? Wait, I just had a cough, bro. I don't want to. You gotta give me money.
Exactly, bro. I read that it takes on average 5 years to create a vaccine, and for them to create one in less than a year, I'm sitting here like, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna hold off on it and just keep wearing my mask, keep staying at home. Let me see how people react to this in a couple of years, because I feel like, and I don't know how this is gonna be or not, but I feel like they're gonna be like, "Did you get your flu shot? Did you get your COVID shot?" type thing down the road, and I just would much rather see like how people are responding to it before I just go and get my ticket and get in line. I'm gonna just go let y'all, whoever want to take care of that first, go ahead and then make it feel first, and then I'll watch you.
I'll watch you.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch, man. Go ahead.
Side experience, you know what I'm saying? But
So
that bitch, you know what I'm saying? Because if I've seen, I've had like close friends of mine that like have caught it. John, you caught it, and like seeing the effects of it, like, and it's such a broad spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Of like, symptoms, they were mild, and then I was good, like I didn't, it was okay. Then on the other side of it, like COVID almost took me out of here. You know what I'm saying? So for me to say I wouldn't entertain a vaccine, that'd be crazy of me. I've seen people say, I ain't taking shit. They trying to do this, and what about this and that? And like, no, I couldn't, man. I would have to catch COVID and get my house. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking.
No, I absolutely support that there is one. I'm just not going to be first in line for them.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like I would consider it in due time, but not off the rip.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me. Where your guinea pigs at, bro? Let me see them first.
Man,
So speaking of like COVID and being around people, uh, Thanksgiving
Ooh.
this week.
Mm.
Yeah, y'all gonna be
Oh
around family? What y'all playing? Like,
you know what's crazy,
man,
man? The dynamic being around family right now is just like you never considered not being around your family before COVID. You know what I'm saying? So like to even have this conversation with your family, like should we get together? Should we not get together? It's just crazy, man. Like it's like disheartening sometimes, bro, because you more than anything right now, you want to be around your family, bro. Like a pick me up, like a
mm-hmm.
I love you, mom, I love you, dad. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them type things. Like it's I don't know, man. Like my mom, my sister talked to us about possibly doing something in the backyard of my mom's house, having some tables out there, socially distanced and all that. And I'm just like, man, like we gotta do this even with family, bro. Like it's just
yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of get down even just having to talk about it like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was I thought about it, because house this year, man. That's like one of the bright spots of 2020, man. We finally moved into our crib. We got, enough space in the backyard and the house to host everybody and shit. And this kind of took place. And like, man, next year, Thanksgiving, I had already manifested it like Thanksgiving and Christmas at the crib. You know what I'm saying? And when the time came up, I'm like, man, I'm about to smoke me a turkey. It's about to go down here. Let's get the sides popping. You know what I'm saying? And then as it's going, it's like, all right, we got this many people on this side. We got this many people on the other side. And before you know, people, me, I've been the fun police all 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's, how many people is that? What is this, 10, 9, 11? Hey, man, hell no. I've turned people away from and
yeah,
not exaggerating. Like I've literally said, no, you cannot come here. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the things like luckily I'm able to go to my mom's house and it's not as many people there. You know what I'm saying? And then like my wife's, family, we go to her mom's house, it's the same. So we're able to kind of like divvy up the time like normal until this shit is back to normal. We can, bring everybody together. Y'all come here.
yeah.
We'll revisit this shit next year.
Yeah,
Right now, I can't have all of it.
yeah. So I feel you on that because we of course we not having nobody over, especially with Camden being only 2 months. My mom finally got to see him. She just came out here and she had to wait, stop working for a while, get her COVID test, make sure she's negative, and then she came out here. So she's spending Thanksgiving with us. But it's just me, my family, and my mama,
Yeah.
and so that's pretty much it. I don't think we're going nowhere. I might fry a turkey, grab some sides. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
It's crazy, man. Like this is the time of the year where you like are thankful to have family and friends, and you putting up the tree here real soon. Maybe Christmas lights, whatever your thing is, and you baking cookies for Santa, and you know what I'm
And my
saying,
wife,
like you, yeah,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying, like you having that experience, and now it's like, man, like yeah, son, just gonna be us three, man. Like we just gonna be chilling, us three, man. It's gonna be us. We're gonna be
yeah,
all right though.
for sure. No, but
just a few of us.
Man.
come on. But I really truly hate, man, that we've been robbed. And it's not like, let's think long game. And I think that's where we go wrong is people are so short-sighted. Like, no, I'm finna be outside. Like yesterday, man, I was at my partner's house and the weather was beautiful on the H yesterday, dog. Bolden, it was dog. If you would have been here,
It
outside was so
was
gorgeous. It was breezy, bro. Like the temp was
low
perfect.
80s,
And
high 70s.
I'm talking about it was gorgeous, dog. Even going into like last night, I think he got down like 73, breezy, perfect. I'm like, this is the time to be outside. You know what I'm saying? And we've got robbed of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, come back next year, maybe, hopefully, if everything go right, if people act right. But the way it's looking, shit, I think 2030 we'll be able to be back outside. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I'm gonna say 2030. A whole decade just gone.
hey, the way these
That's the way
people
it's
acting
looking.
out here, bro, it's looking like
Out here
it,
clubbing, no mask, just like it never happened. COVID is not going on. COVID ain't run up on people. Dog. They act like COVID ain't run up on people and taking their lunch money, bro. Like it's happening. COVID is out. You wouldn't tell, fool.
COVID out here like Debo.
Yeah.
Hey,
what chain?
what bite?
That's my bite.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically. So yeah, man, we wanted to touch base. Was there anything else we wanted to cover, man? I know this was an episode we were kind of all over the place and touching on a lot of important topics, but I wanted to make sure that we get our shit off before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Was there anything else we wanted to talk about?
Trump lost again in Georgia
57 times.
Yeah, and still won't concede, dog. But he took another L. So I just want to say that Trump lost again. Kiss my ass,
bro.
Cheat.
What do you expect from a narcissist who, man, listen, this guy here is gonna lose 87 times, but he gonna get up out of the office. Yeah, bro. You know how somebody losing spades and dominoes and they don't be wanting to believe it? And like, no, come on, put off that chip.
Man, he called 5. He ain't write my 5 down. Man, they whooping the pay.
Bro, man. He reneged over there, bro. He reneged. I'm like, nah, bro, come on up out there.
Yeah, man. I think the best thing for us is just don't even get his dude no more attention, man. His days are numbered. We already know that. So when it's his time to go and make a move, get on out of there, man. And let's go and move on with the world, man. Let's do what we supposed to do, man. Be back to being the best country in the world.
Yeah, Kamala, please don't forget about Malone's baby.
Hey, y'all said.
I'll say it.
Hey, come on, man. I need that, fam.
Yeah. So again, man. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said my credit report would have been. It's gonna be solid when Kamala do what she said she was gonna do.
Hey, mine too, fam.
Yes, sir. So again, man, this has been another episode of the Black Dad Cast. Again, we appreciate everybody who's been tuning in on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the socials. Again, you can reach out to us, theblackdadcast@gmail.com, on all our socials at the Black Dadcast, Instagram, Twitter, website, theblackdadcast.com. We are here. Any questions that you have, reach out to us on the socials so you can talk to us, ask us anything you want. We open books. If there are some topics that you want us to go over, reach out. Don't be afraid to share. Matter of fact, we're going to post something this week with that same exact questions. What do you want to hear from the Black Dad Cast? What do you want to hear our perspective on? Who do you want to hear it from? We definitely plan on having some guests come by pretty soon. We're just working on some few technical things. Well, and that's a wrap for this episode. Definitely a dope episode, man. I can't wait to drop this one. If you're listening, thank you for sticking with us. I'm going to say my sayonara. Y'all can go ahead and give y'all's.
No sayonara, man. Peace out, man. Love y'all boys, man.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, man. Try your best to stay out of the way. And try your best to enjoy your family. You know what I'm saying? The safest way possible, and don't get everybody sick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't be a COVIDian out here.
Not a COVIDian. Wow.
That was very clever, but we don't want to be that.
Man, he done made a residency out of it.
Man, let me trademark this real quick.
Everybody trademarking everything now anyway, right?
For real.
Sir. Don't be no COVIDian. All right, that's a wrap. We out of here.